My name is Lakeem Wilson. I'm an artist, visual artist, painter, and illustrator from Dallas, Texas. Graduated from UT as a studio art major, got my BFA in studio art, and now I'm just a full-time artist and creator. I've been doing graffiti since as long as I've been doing art, in the sense that graffiti is an art that's more freestyle and more free form, not like the traditional sit down painting type deal. So I've been doing graffiti for at least over 10 years or so. Graffiti is all about resistance to the norm. If you think of graffiti art traditionally, or the history of graffiti art, it started as a form where the artists go out and tag a wall fast enough to where they can get away or not get caught by the police. You know, that was the origins of doing graffiti, and to kind of leave their name and leave a mark at a place and then just get away with it. So, you know, traditionally graffiti is definitely created to go against the norm. And over time as it gained like popularity and notoriety, it became more acceptable in some forms of fashion. It became more trendy, so more people started liking it for the art form instead of the vandalism. In like the 1970s or late 60s, 1970s, it was a wave of like hip hop, fashion, graffiti art, and like b-boying, like the b-boying dancing and things like that. And they were known as like the elements of art, you know. So when people went out into the town and enjoyed the music and the culture, it was kind of like a new culture shaping as well. Like it was towards the end of disco music and the stylish things, and then they brought the wave of hip hop and like rapping and things and DJing. And along with that like vocal wave and like the music, the visual side of it was graffitiing. They used to tag the railroads, tag the walls. You know, people would put their names, like the Banksies, and it's a ton of artists who just kind of developed their personality and identity around those times where music, even the fashion, like a lot of times. That's when like the denim jackets with the paint on the back started. You know, that's a trend that kind of relapsed over time. And fashion with the patches and things, all those are different forms of graffiti, or forms of, you know, leaving a tag on yourself to say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I stand for. So in terms of graffiti and fashion going hand in hand, they kind of all do, even like graffiti, fashion, along with hip hop and dance and just, you know, culture in general.
So there's a stark difference between graffiti and street art. They're often motivated from different places within a person. Graffiti is a lot about self and putting yourself out there, or sticking it to the man, or coming and overcoming hard times and creating a positive outlet out of negativity. There's a lot of history behind that. In America, graffiti came first and was popularized first, and then street art's kind of this newer form. A lot of graffiti guys don't like street art, and and vice versa. Just they're just two different worlds, and the population at large often lumps everyone together, or a lot of street art pieces are easier for the general public to accept or digest because they're mainly image based, versus the bad rap and the broken window theory that kind of trails and follows graffiti, with people, cities trying to buff it out, and people not understanding, wild style letters and understanding the art. It's not as easy and accessible. It's kind of more of like a secret culture. versus street art is more kind of fits in line with like murals, and now muralism is coming out because, you know, street art and graffiti both fall in the illegal realm versus murals, which can be commissioned and legal. And so that's even kind of coming into play there in the three different aspects. But street art is more a compulsion or desire to repeat an image, and people will put like, they'll sticker things or wheat paste the same image, like Obey, Shepherd Fairey is a popular one, like repeat image. And there's like a statement you're trying to say there. And it's a little, often can come from a different place, or you are trying to create some sort of public art for the public to view or enjoy. And so there's two different motivations there a little bit. It's like an appropriation of a culture, of a culture, a subculture.
Yeah.
You know, is what advertising. But that's what they do for everything. I've always found it interesting that public art and a type of street art per se came in Europe and South America way long before. I mean, if you go back to some of the first artwork ever created was on cave walls, you know, for a public view, was like the street art muralism side of things. But in America, it's really been popularized second. I don't fit the style, like the status quo style of what's associated.
Oh, so there is a kind of style
There's
idea?
like, that's where it's kind of where streetwear came from.
I think a lot of people rep brands that are kind of in that genre, in like the street art and artistic realm. Even like a lot of skate style, there's like some overlap. I think how I know when people are an artist is not necessarily by the style of their clothes, but by the paint on their clothes. So most of the outfits that you see people around here wearing have paint all over them, and I think that that's kind of like a style in itself of, you know, my favorite clothes are the clothes that I have paint all over because of the memories I have while painting and getting paint all over those clothes. And I just, as an artist, love paint, so it's like looks cool and feels cool to me to have stuff with paint on it.
As far as fashion goes, I really just like to be out of the ordinary and different. I have paint on my pants, I draw on my pants from time to time. My fashion sense is really based on being free, being loose, and like liberated.